So something that's been going around a little bit, not full on in your face, but it's been going around as whisperings of it, is that would one of F1's elder statesmen be calling time on his illustrious career come the end of the 2022 season? Now, statistically, Sebastian Vettel is one of the greatest of all time. He has 4 world titles, matching Prost and only leaving Fangio, Schumacher and Hamilton with more. He also has 53 wins, which puts him third on the all-time list behind his hero Schumacher and rival Hamilton. 4 world titles, 1 in a row it has to be said, between 2010 when he became the youngest champion ever and 2013, which signalled the end of the V8 era and led into the hybrid era. A disappointing 2014 season where he was outscored by new teammate Daniel Ricciardo allowed him to activate a clause in his contract and saw him move to Maranello, where he set about trying to do what his hero had done and get Ferrari back to the top step of the podium and at the same time grab that 5th world title. Doing it in a Ferrari as well, that would have achieved a life goal because, well, it's what Schumacher had done. Then in 2017 it looked like Vettel had a shot of getting very close to, if not winning, the 2017 title. At the Singapore Grand Prix that year, Vettel had pole position and the pace with which to win that race. Hamilton meanwhile was back in 5th because the Mercedes couldn't hook it up, so it seemed that Vettel had the advantage in pace and also psychologically. But then before the first corner, Vettel got a slower start compared to Raikkonen and Verstappen, and 2 of those 3 cars were in the outside wall at turn 1 while Vettel came to a stop before turn 4, facing the other way. Hamilton won that race. Then there was the engine issues at Malaysia and then the spark plug problem at Suzuka that basically ruined any chance of winning the 2017 title, but Ferrari had the pace and the data to go into 2018 full on swinging. But it wasn't exactly rosy there either. Vettel did have the points advantage after the first 2 races, but in China he got tipped around by Verstappen and then lost positions, allowing Hamilton to close the gap. Then in Canada, Ferrari came in with an engine that suddenly had way more power than the one they were using before, raising suspicions as Vettel cruised to victory. But between Canada and Italy, Vettel would only win the British Grand Prix and the Belgian Grand Prix. Now at Silverstone he did get a little bit of help because Raikkonen accidentally tipped Hamilton around, but at Spa he won thanks to that alleged iffy engine being a rocket ship through the power sections of sectors 1 and 3. But while leading the German Grand Prix, he slid off the track at the stadium section hairpin, handing Hamilton another victory despite the championship rivals starting way back in 16th or so. And this is where people think Vettel's brain got broken. In Monza, a spat over who would get the slipstream led to Kimi getting pole and leading into turn 1, and while fighting with Hamilton at the second chicane, Vettel spun and had to claw it back. He would also have spins at the spoon curve at Suzuka, Kota while fighting with Ricciardo, and after it all, Hamilton had the title won by Mexico as the arguments over Ferrari's alleged engine trickery raged on. So coming into 2019, Vettel had a new teammate in Charles Leclerc, and Leclerc was immediately on it, almost winning in Bahrain and winning 2 races that year while Vettel could only win 1, with his Canadian Grand Prix win being chalked off for an unsafe rejoin. Now, as I've said before, we can debate all of this until the cows come home, but the fact remains that Vettel lost it with a silver car in his mirrors, and not for the first time in Canada either. So this must have put Vettel in an even worse mood than he was already in, but he did manage to win the Singapore Grand Prix in 2019 before having what can only be described as a disastrous 2020 season. Yes, he got that podium in Turkey, but he still finished 13th overall in the standings before moving to Aston Martin for 2021. And things started to look a little bit better for him. He got a podium in Baku, he did have that podium in Hungary chalked off as well for a technical infringement, but he still scored better in 2021 than he did in 2020. I mean, he only finished 12th in 2021 as opposed to 13th, but, 12th in an Aston Martin versus 13th in a Ferrari. Which sounds better? But now, however, in 2022, the Aston Martin is a dog, and Vettel has missed 2 rounds this season because he tested positive for COVID, and in his first race back, he retired, and is currently 21st in a 20-driver grid, which can't be doing his motivation any favours. He also said back in February that him staying in Formula 1 will depend on whether or not he can get a competitive car, and Aston Martin wants to enter contract renewal talks earlier this season rather than later, so they seem to be keen on keeping him. Thing is though, if Vettel does want that competitive car, he's going to have a hard time getting one unless something ridiculous happens and Hamilton decides he's had enough at the end of this season. Hamilton is on with Merck until the end of next year, Russell is on a long-term contract, Ferrari seems happy with Leclerc and Sainz, and while Perez's contract is up at the end of this year, would Red Bull want both Seb and Max there at the same time, with both of them wanting to win more. But Perez wants to stay and is doing a good job, and since Max is on a 300-year deal right now, well, there's a better chance of seeing Elvis. It is early to say, but could it be that the issues with the Aston are the same as the issues he's having at Ferrari? And would it be a case of, oh shit, here we go again, given how mentally ruined he was at Ferrari come the end of 2020? You know, going through it all again would be enough to make anybody go, you know what, I've had enough. So if Vettel wants a competitive car, he's got to hope Aston fixes whatever issues it has, or walk away. But if he does walk away, he'll be able to say he did it on his terms. It won't be because some kid with more money has forced him out. It'll be because he decided he wanted to go, and if he does, he can walk away with his head held high that he made the decision and not somebody's checkbook. Will be weird to see him out of the sport, but, you know, who knows, stranger things have happened. So anyway, a quick look at that thing that's happening and my thoughts on that thing that is happening. It's been a quick one today because I've got other stuff to get done, but, you know, I thought I'd get it out there because, well, people seem to like my opinions on these kinds of things. But if you think I've made some good points and you agree with those points, then do give the video a like. If you want to see more, do that usual, subscribe if you haven't already and get the bell on stuff so you never miss out on a future video. Massive thanks to the fine folk at Patreon who continue to support the channel. If you want to help support the image buying fund, you can help out by clicking the link in the description, which will also have links to Discord and also to my socials. So until next time, I've been Millward, and I'll see you all again live on Sunday evening at 7:45 British time for the Potato Nation Sunday League thing. And if you're not interested in that, I'll see you on Monday for another generic video. So until Sunday or Monday, I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.